Would you like to work closer to home, save money on gas, and be rewarded for your hard work and attendance? Then Bellisio Foods is looking for you. That's right, Bellisio Foods is now hiring for multiple positions and shifts with great employee benefits, an on-site health clinic, competitive wages, and advancement opportunities. Bellisio Foods is a company that truly values their employees. Apply online at BellisioFoods.com/careers.
The Jackson County Fair Board, in conjunction with Total Media, proudly present Neil McCoy. Neil McCoy. Saturday, July 15th at the Jackson County Fair. VIP track access seats now available for only $30, which includes admission to the fair. Get tickets now at JacksonCooHfair.com or at the Total Media Studios in Jackson.
Well, happy Monday, everyone, and welcome to the morning show right here on Main Street TV. Of course, Jennifer here to start off your work week with our good friend. I haven't seen you in a little bit. So happy to have you back. Marty Jacobs is here in the studio today, and we are going to talk about something really, really cool coming up this weekend. And then, of course, our good friend Pete will be in a little bit later to do some news. So welcome to the program, Marty. It's so good to have you back.
I know. It's kind of crazy. I was telling Matt, I got here and I'm like, I have no idea where to go.
I know. I didn't realize you hadn't been out to our new place yet.
So
yeah.
I hadn't been to whether it's the radio studio or the TV studio here. And so I asked the secretary, I said, hey, can you guys kind of help me out? Like, you guys are going to find me a week later in a closet, huddled up, like trying to scrounge for food and survive, grabbing Carl Davis and having him get me pizzas when he can.
Exactly.
My wife's going to turn him. Yeah, hey, buddy, can you get me a pizza? So, but we made it, and I'm okay. I'm safe. And they're not holding me for ransom.
No, and I promise you, we will escort you out as well, so you're not lost in that closet again.
Sounds good. I feel like I'm going to jail after this now.
Yeah, right. Escort you out.
Escort.
No, so here's the deal. They threw me for a loop this morning because evidently our old walkway back to the studio is now an office with the door sealed off. So I'm like, where do I go? So in your defense, I didn't even know where to go.
I feel better.
Yes.
I feel better.
So that's neither here nor there, although it is a fun story nonetheless. So you are here to talk about something that is going on, this weekend?
Mm-hmm. This weekend.
And it is so cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So first off, I guess, so this is kind of in conjunction with the Rock Church. Mm-hmm. But it's kind of like a community event.
Think of it as like just a community day. So the event is called Celebrate Jackson, Rock the City. And our goal is to basically have an event that we're just giving back to the city.
And giving back you are.
Yeah, it's kind of...
Holy moly.
It's kind of crazy, everything that's going to be going on there. So... if you want, I can get into a little bit of it.
Yeah, I would. Well, yeah, let's do that because this thing is absolutely wild.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. So first and foremost, the event's free. I mean, admission's free. There's, you don't have to bring any money. Like, we're going to have some free food. But the big thing is you show up the day of. So it's 3 to 6 p.m. at Jackson Middle School Stadium. And you're just going to go through the regular entrance there on Huron Street.
Okay.
And when you show up, every single person, child, adult, doesn't matter, is going to get a ticket. And so we're going to get everyone set up in the stands. We'll have some food there. Like I said, it's not going to be anything too exciting. But we're going to make sure you have some food, something to drink, things like that.
Okay.
And we get you set up in the stadium. And what's cool is the first part of the event, we're going to have games. And these games are going to be kind of similar to like a NBA game or an NFL game halftime game. So we're going to have
the little side game
exactly
things going on.
We're going to have our MC grab people from out of the audience. It's going to be kids. It's going to be adults. You might be like, well, Marty, listen, like I'm retirement age. I'm kind of like, I don't know if I want to play a game. Listen, we have games.
It will be fun.
Yes, we have games that everyone can participate in. And so we'll be pulling people down to go head to head for big prizes. So you will win the prize right there. When I say big prizes, like what I'll do is, are we able to play the promo live?
Absolutely.
Okay, so give me just a minute and we'll go into it. But we're going to have, whoever goes head to head, it's going to be for some of these prizes. And some people might be like, well, I don't know if I really want to get down in front of everybody. And, I really want to win a prize, but I don't want to,
Well, you're going to want to win these prizes. I promise you.
They're pretty nice. But the cool thing is, too, by just showing up, you get entered into the raffle. And after all these games, towards kind of the middle half, later half of the event, we're going to do a raffle where just by showing up, you're entered into it. And what's cool is, if you share a couple of our social media posts you'll see in this promo, you not only get one ticket, but you get 2 tickets. So you show us your phone and at the admission table that you shared one of these 2 posts. Instead of just getting 1 ticket, you get 2 tickets. And so you double your chances of winning some of these prizes. And when I say prizes, like, just to name a few, like, we have $500 cash we're going to be giving away. We've got a 75-inch TV. Almost everything that we're giving away is brand new. So is it okay if we roll the clip? Is that cool?
We absolutely can, because Marty kind of explains this.
I feel like a pretty reasonable job.
You did a pretty good job, buddy.
Oh, man.
What's up, everyone? I want to talk to you about Celebrate Jackson, Rock the City, going down June 24th, this Saturday, from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. at Jackson Middle School Stadium. And here's what I want to talk to you about. Guys, we have some amazing items. A like-new scooter, we've got a drone, we've got a 50-inch TV, in addition to other things like a 75-inch TV, a PlayStation 5. We've got all kinds of things that we're going to be giving away. Pellet grills, cash prizes, a cash prize up to $500. But here's the key, is you have to show up. So when you show up that day, every single person that shows up is going to be entered into the drawing for free. And I repeat, this is for free. This costs no money. We're going to have food. We're going to have games. And these games that we're going to be having are going to be for big prizes. This TV behind me is going to be one of the prizes. All kinds of stuff that you're going to be able to win at the event. And you're like, well, Marty, listen, I don't know if I necessarily want to compete to win something. Here's the good news. We're also going to be raffling off. Like I said, one of those raffles is going to be for $500, but you have to be there in order to win. Now, here's the key. This post that's going up, if you share this post on your social media account on Facebook and show your phone to the attendants as you come in, you don't just get 1 ticket, you double your chances and get 2 tickets. We also posted the flyer for the event this past Friday. If you share that post, you'll also double your tickets. Now here's the thing, you can only get up to 2 tickets. So if you share both posts, we appreciate it, but you're still only gonna get 2 tickets. But you're going from 1 to 2, doubling your chance for some of these items that we're gonna be raffling off. Listen, that's Celebrate Jackson, Rock the City, this Saturday, June 24th, from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Let everyone know you're gonna wanna be there.
Well, that explains it.
Yeah, I thought so. I'm going to tell you, too, that guy had a fantastic beard.
That guy,
fantastic
he looked
beard.
So familiar when he was talking.
I think he must just have one of them faces.
It must be.
Just have one of them faces.
Yeah, you're right.
But no, just to list off, I know I talked about some of them there, but like I said, we got a 75-inch TV, a 50-inch TV, that scooter. So I had to ride that scooter, to get it put in storage. Guys, listen, I'm a motorcycle guy.
Go ahead and tell on yourself. You got a little hot rod with that scooter, didn't you?
I was not going over the speed limit. I was, I was taking it directly to where I needed to take it. But I was like, man, this thing, I was going faster than I realized I was. And it is, that thing's registered for 100 miles an hour. Now, obviously I didn't do that. I got up to 45, but I didn't, I know.
No, that's good though. That's
danger
cool.
zone over here. Oh,
zone.
It's super nice. So
a real Tom Cruise, I tell you.
Oh yeah. Well, Evel Knievel. There we go. Yeah. I didn't ramp it on the way there. Trust me. a PS5. You saw the drone. It's a Polaroid drone. We have a super nice pellet grill, a really nice brand new self-propelled lawnmower, a brand new table saw. Basically, everything we're giving away is brand new, other than the scooter. Just because the scooter's it's 2008, but it's got. Let me put it this way: that scooter has less than 90 miles on it.
Oh, you're kidding!
Yeah, so it might not be brand new, but it's barely been ridden.
Yeah.
So, and the cash prizes, we're gonna. Part of the raffle is going to be a $500 cash prize, but then with some of the games that we're going to do smaller cash prizes. And what's neat is after the raffle, we're going to open it up. We're going to set up all the games out throughout the field. So then everyone can come down and you can take turns playing all these different games yourself, your family. And while we have enough, we'll have small prizes that we'll be giving away until we run out of them.
So give us an example of one or two of the games that people might be able to participate, or is it a secret?
No. Okay. Let me think. Let me decide which ones. I'll give 2 games. How about that?
Okay.
We've got some fun names for them. So one, we're nicknaming Grandpa or Grandma Ball. Okay. So what you're going to do is you're going to be head to head. You're going to be in a seat. So you're going to be sitting down. All right. Already great.
I like to sit.
All you got to do is walk down to the seat, right?
Right.
So, and you're going to have a certain amount of time to shoot baskets. So just these little mini basketballs into this basketball hoop. Whoever has the most baskets at the end of the time is the winner. And boom, you win potentially a 50-inch TV, whatever that price. Maybe it's $100 cash.
Sweet.
So that's one game.
That's easy enough.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's not going to be easy, but it's not physically straining.
Listen, depending on how many people show up, you might have 1,000 people shouting, yes, as you sit in a seat and shoot a little kid's basketball into a basketball hoop.
That's awesome.
For big prizes.
Yes.
The other one, what do we call it? Armchair quarterback.
Okay.
So, and you're going to be throwing just small footballs into. There's like 4 different holes you can throw them into. Same thing. It's measured out. You've got a certain amount of time, and you're going to throw footballs into these holes. Whoever makes the most footballs wins the game.
Nice.
So. Others, you'll just have to show up and find out.
And you'll have to find out. But all of them will be like not anything that you couldn't do.
No. And here's what we're going to do is
it's fun.
Yeah. And we're going to, it might be like, okay, I need two adult guys that like to, watch football on Sunday afternoons or something like that. And then they end up doing the armchair quarterback game. Or, hey, we need 2 teenage girls that like to run around outside and do things like that. And so we're going to be asking different demographics to come down and participate.
Perfect.
And depending on the game, hey, we need some retirement age people because we ain't calling nobody old. You know what I'm saying? Retirement age. Unless your retirement age was 45.
There are some of those now.
But, hey, we need you to come down. And then the next thing you know, they're playing grandma and grandpa ball. And listen, we're going to have adults play that stuff too. But we're going to, all the games, any person of any age, for the most part, is going to be able to participate.
Nice.
So, and we're not forcing anyone to do anything. We're saying, hey, if you want to participate, let us know. And then our MC is going to grab 2 people from the audience and have them compete.
Cool.
And like I said, the raffle, you get entered into that just by showing up.
Very good. And so I'm sitting here thinking, Marty, I mean, I'm sure that our viewers are thinking, this sounds too good to be true. You're giving away all of this stuff. There's no, money to get in. Mm-hmm. How are you doing this? And why?
These are valid questions. In our day and age, it's always like, oh yeah, send us your email address.
There's always a catch.
And we'll send you this, but also, we're going to send your email address to the deposed Prince of Nigeria.
Yes, exactly.
But all of these items have either been purchased or donated by whether it's members of our church or local businesses. We have local businesses that have decided to come in and partner with this. And the whole idea is, I love this community. And our church also loves this community. And when I've been here 17 years now, and I've had people comment. I think about a recent example. I mentioned on the radio, I've become friends with a guy that him and his family recently moved up here from Florida. Uh-huh. When he did, he would comment to me whenever we'd have conversations. He said, you're one of the few people I hear that has so many positive things to say about Jackson. And I told him, I said, man, I love this area.
Sure.
And I know I'm not the only person. I know there's plenty of people watching or may hear this later that you're like, no, yeah, I like this little community. And so we just want to give back. We want to give back and say, listen, we love this area. We believe in this area.
Sure.
Yeah, we're going to have people that, maybe they have to move because of jobs or things like that. But, at the same time, it takes the people that say, you know what, I'm going to figure something out here. I'm going to make something happen here. And those are the people that are creating opportunities, whether it's jobs, whether it's other industries that weren't here before, whatever it might be. Whenever I first moved here, I ended up in different jobs that for a while would take me out of the community. And maybe the money was good, the opportunities were good. And I learned a lot from those. But I would always end up having this thing of, man, I want to get back into Jackson. I want what I do to be involved with the community that I am. And not everyone's able to do that.
That's awesome.
So this event, there is no catch. There's no like, hey, show up and we're going to take your credit card information. We're going to
bring your firstborn.
Yeah. It's none of that. It's literally, we want to give back to this community. We want people to leave feeling inspired, like a breath of fresh air, like despite any of the negative things that you may hear about our area, whatever it might be, that you leave like, man, you know what? Yeah, I believe in this area. I love my community.
Heck yeah.
So that is the vision of it.
Very good. So there's no catch. I know that you all are sitting there thinking, there is no way that there's not some ulterior motive to that, but there's not. It's just a community appreciation thing. Of course, the Rock Church kind of spearheading this situation, but it's just all about celebrating the community.
Mm-hmm. Yes, ma'am. So,
and win some really cool stuff.
Some really, really cool stuff. And like I said, our goal is when people leave that they're like, man, you know what? Yeah, you know what? Maybe instead of just talking about, the negative things that you can find. Listen, anywhere, any situation, you can find negative things.
100%.
Anything. But it's until you take a step back and say, you know what? There are some things I can be thankful for in this area. Yeah. I always am blown away how many local people have never been out to Lake Catherine. Oh my gosh, Lake Catherine's like a mini Hocking Hills.
So I look at our area, like the Hocking Hills and all of that, as the Statue of Liberty. And what I mean by that is go to New York and talk to New Yorkers and find out how many people have never seen the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah.
Because it's right there. And they just haven't taken the time to go do it yet. Yeah. Because it's there. Mm-hmm. And it's the same. Like, it's like, we live in this area of all this beauty and whatever, and we don't appreciate it. So get out there and see it. But yeah, you're right. Our area is, people are so kind.
Oh yeah.
And I hear that all the time. And we should be celebrated and appreciated.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I agree. So yeah, no catch.
That's
come
what
out.
This is.
If you're like, I don't know if I believe this, come out and find out. And let me say this too, like the promo said, if you can put up the flyer that we had. So we have a post from Friday where we posted this flyer.
Thanks, Dylan.
Dylan, you're the man.
I know.
He's the unsung hero.
I know
today.
He is. He's always the.
I mean, just crushing it back there. And but no, if you share the post with either this flyer or the post that you just saw with the promo video, when you come to the event, when you show the admissions, like I said, your phone, you get 2 tickets. Now, we're not giving you more than 2 tickets, so if you share both, we appreciate it, but you're still going to get 2 tickets. But no, we want people to be able to come out and participate in something that is just fun, that is done in excellence and gives them the opportunity to get some really fun things and potentially leave fired up about their community.
Now, where would you find your promo and this flyer?
So if you check my personal social media page, I posted it. But one thing I think a lot of people forget about, like hashtags. So I created a hashtag. If you go on Facebook, like the same way that you would search for somebody that you're trying to find, like a friend or something. Well, you can also search hashtags there. So if you put in hashtag Celebrate Jackson 2023,
okay,
though that post will be in there under that hashtag.
Nice.
So, yep. Trying to keep things as easy as possible.
There you go. Not overcomplicating.
As best I can. I've got a lot of grays already, so I'm trying to keep as many regular colored hairs by the time I'm 40 as I can. Heard.
Thank God for good dye. I'm a girl. I can do that.
Yeah. No, yeah. I'm not making no argument. Now, me on the other hand, if I end up looking like an old sage by the time I'm 40 because my hair is all gray and my beard's all gray, I'll be Santa Claus for Christmas.
I'm just going to say this out loud. It is so not fair. Thank you, Dylan, for putting that up. Guys get older and distinguished and get really, really handsome with gray, and we women just look like old hags.
Now, see, I don't think that's not totally true. And Dylan, I'm going to bring you into the middle of this. It's like the girls are dyeing their hair gray now.
I know.
And white. So, you're not totally right now.
They are sort of on purpose, yes.
Yes, all kinds of them.
But it's kind of like not good for your hair at all to do that. So
I just try to bathe regularly. That's about the
You're
most
like, I'm just lucky if I have some soap.
Yeah, that's all I need for the most part.
Sounds like a typical guy. Dude. Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah. Well, no, very, very good. Thank you so much for stopping by. So this is this coming Saturday.
This Saturday, Jackson Middle School, from 3 to 6 p.m.
Okay.
So, and like I said,
there'll be food?
Oh, yeah. So we'll have free, all of it's free. We'll have free food. All the giveaways, obviously, bring your family. If you're like, Mario, I don't have any kids. It's a community event. You don't have to have, this isn't how do I put this? It's not a kids event, but it's a kid friendly event. Does that make sense?
Right.
So you don't have to have kids to come.
No.
If you're 65, 70 years old, man, it's like, man, this sounds awesome. But like my grandkids don't live nowhere around here. Come out. Like
borrow someone else's. It's fine if you want to. But
and you don't have to. You don't have to. But yeah, just come out. You don't have to bring your kids. If you have kids, though, don't let that keep you from bringing them because we're going to have things for them to participate in too.
There you go. It's just good. It's just going to be a good day.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Well, very good. Thank you for stopping by, buddy.
Yeah, this was awesome. This was awesome.
We always love talking with you, and we appreciate all that you do for the community as well.
I appreciate it. Thank you all.
Okay. All right, Dylan, we have a message here from our friends at the Vinton County National Bank, and then hopefully our good friend Pete Wilson will be here on the other side of that.
At Vinton County National Bank, we believe in supporting the areas where we live and work. Now, we'd like to honor those who also serve our communities. Our new Community Champions account is especially for first responders, veterans, active military, and anyone employed in the fields of healthcare or education. This account offers rewards, discounts, and other benefits to those who give so much to others. Vinton County National Bank, rewarding those who serve.
Okay, there we go. All right, weather forecast. All right. Look at that. We haven't had rain forever in our forecast, and here we go this week. So here's the good news about that is, number one, we do need rain. Number two, the temperatures are going to be very, very mild and wonderful this week. And that chance of rain is every day. Today, about 80% chance. I know we had some this morning, then 70, 40, 30. So it's looking pretty good and moderate for this week. And like I said, we could definitely use some of those rain showers for the garden and for the flowers and all of that because they will be very, very happy. All right. Well, our good friend Pete Wilson is walking into the studio. He loves to spend his Mondays with us.
Absolutely.
Don't you, Pete?
Absolutely. How did you know? Just have an intuition, don't you?
I just have that women's intuition. So Marty's giving away tons and tons of prizes for free. What are you doing for us?
I'm just going to talk until you chase me off.
till Dylan tells us it's time to leave, huh?
Yeah, that's right. We've got Phil Buffington coming in to talk about some important things that happened at the Wellston Council meeting.
Okay.
And Jeremiah Shaver coming in to talk about the wonderful story he wrote that was on our front page Saturday about the comeback of the Hazlitt Mansion and a statewide honor it received.
Awesome.
More to come on that story, but we'll put out what we have so far for our TV audience.
Very good.
All right.
So what's going on with what Pete Wilson knows?
Okay. All right. Well, let's just roll through this as quickly as we can. This is a reminder for the folks who just aren't paying attention. This is a federal holiday.
It is.
It is called Juneteenth, and we have some, not all, governmental offices closed in Jackson County. So, if you have business with a local government, it may or may not be open.
Some banks, all of that stuff.
Oh, yes.
Call ahead of time.
Yeah, do that. It may not be uniform. We didn't publicize about the private sector things, but yes, the banks should be affected. Anything affected on a federal holiday is probably closed, and the banks kind of follow that.
Yep.
But the Juneteenth holiday, for those who don't know, it goes back to Texas, 1865. And even though there was the Emancipation Proclamation in 1863, the 13th Amendment, which freed the slaves in January 1865, that was over the whole country. Mm-hmm. In Texas, that was kind of away from everybody. That was a Confederate state, and the slavery kind of continued past when it should have.
They didn't listen the way they were supposed to, huh?
So when federal troops rolled into Galveston, Texas, they freed the slaves, and that by military action almost, or they forced it. That was on June 19th, and it became Juneteenth in the vernacular of the time.
Sure.
It's called Freedom Day, Emancipation Day, Jubilee Day. And it's just another celebration of the fact that the blacks were freed as a result of the Civil War. But a lot of people, until this holiday was formed, probably did not know it did not happen in Texas as soon as it should have.
Sure.
So once again, some governmental offices closed, some not. At the county level in both Jackson and Vinton counties, they're closed. I believe the ones that are open, that might be the easiest thing to say. Hamden Village is open, MacArthur Village is open, Oak Hill Village is open. The other governmental offices are closed.
Sure.
All right, the big story that kind of happened at the end of last week, we did get this online, and we'll have a follow-up in our print edition. We talked about the Garrett Ridge project out in Vinton County, or the project they want to have at Garrett Ridge.
Yeah.
That is a remote area in western Vinton County, very hilly. People live out there, but there's no public water. Can you imagine? You don't think about that in 2000.
I cannot believe that's even a thing.
But they, all the wells are not safe there. And so people that live there go to a water vending station or have to haul water. Can you imagine the inconvenience of that?
No.
And talk about holding back development, just residential development.
Yep.
Okay, the big story is the governor's office announced some major grants for both water and sewer projects statewide, and one of them was $5,854,000 for the Garrett Ridge project.
Awesome.
Now, this is not going to get, it's crazy what things cost. This is not going to get water to everybody in Garrett Ridge, but it will serve, they think, about 24 of the residences up there, 24 households.
Wow.
Not exactly sure how many there are.
Great, though.
That was back in 2021. We're showing this 2-year-old picture because that's when local officials applied Governor DeWine about the need for Garrett Ridge. He was actually there at the health department, if you recall, just to check in on the COVID situation and how everybody was doing. He did a lot of visits around the state, the health departments.
And then he said, "Are you kidding me? There's a place here that doesn't have water."
Right, and there was regional TV audiences there because the governor was there, and so this shed some statewide, even beyond statewide publicity to this problem. And there's been some funding opportunities since then that Garrett Ridge was not included. It was very frustrating for the local officials in Vinton County. But now there is money to move ahead now. Remember, not too long ago, they got engineering money to help set that up. That's always a precursor to getting funding for construction. You've got to have all the engineering done. And so not sure when this will happen, but the money now is there to do part of it. Jackson County Water Company, which does a lot of the water projects in Vinton County, I'm sure will be involved in that. And so we have a detailed story online, or at least as detailed as we could get it the same day. We did get that out quickly. We'll have that story in the print edition as well. So good news for Vinton County and the Garrett Ridge project.
Absolutely.
All right. The very first Butch Aldrich Fishing Tournament took place this last Saturday at Hammertown Lake.
With perfect weather.
They had great weather. Now, there was not outstanding fishing pressure or attendance, to be honest, but it was the first time.
Yes.
And there wasn't trout as an attraction. Newly stocked trout, 3,000 trout, they're so dumb, we're going to catch them easy. Doesn't usually happen because they're kind of stunned.
They're swimming around and they just jump on that thing.
They're kind of stunned.
Yeah.
So there was not any newly stocked fish, but it was on free fishing weekend day, and there was sentiment to keep the trout festival going. So give credit to the Jackson FOP, led by President Aaron Irvin, and for the Jackson County Firefighters Association, Dave Channel, the Energizer Bunny, doing much more than just the firemen's work, doing community work as too. They jumped in there and helped. And one of the nice things that happened there was that Sherry Aldridge, who is the widow of Butch Aldrich, of course, the tournament named after Butch Aldrich because he was the face of the Trout Festival for all those many years as an FOP member and a police officer, and then even as a retired police officer, he organized it. He was on TV many times. He did interviews with us through the newspaper, on the radio as well. And so they had Sherry come out at the end of the tournament, and that is Aaron presenting her with a plaque.
Love that.
Now, Jackson Mayor Randy Evans was also there, and he presented her with a plaque. So 2 different plaques for Sherry to honor her late husband and all that he did. And Randy made it clear, in addition to the Trout Festival, the overall contributions that he made as an FOP member, member of the police department, and as a good community member. Remember, Butch was very active in the Apple Festival for many years as well. He did the Shop with a Cop for the FOP.
He did.
Kind of a front person there. And so just a real good community person all the way around, as well as being with the police department for, I think, over 3 decades before he finally retired. And even after he retired, he still did the Trout Festival.
He didn't sit still now.
But anyway, they modeled it after the Trout Festival. The thing was no trout, and they moved the date back to June, thinking that, the weather would be better. And it was very good. It was also free fish weekend in Ohio, which means you didn't have to, if you wanted to fish, you didn't have to even have a fishing license if you were 16 and older. So here are the 2 big fish winners. There on the left is get his name, was Austin Aldridge. He had the largest fish in the adult division. It turned out to be a crappie.
Really?
Not a bass or a catfish, but a crappie.
How funny.
And Abigail McGowan won the youth division, and she won it for a bluegill.
Nice.
So, it was a great day to fish, and those were the 2 big fish winners. There were also casting contest winners as well. This was just for youth, different divisions. But the winners here they are. Milo Barnett is on the left. Natasha Conley is second from the left. Then let's see. You had Noah Stacy there in the middle. That's Randy Baker with the Liberty Township Fire Department holding one of the trophies. And there on the right, the far right, is Ryan Hill, who is holding another one of the winners, who was Colleen.
Okay.
Was also one of the winners there. So
good job, guys.
And that was not sure what Colleen's last name was, but she was one of the winners there.
Cool.
All right. So also at the Butch Aldrich Fishing Tournament, they did a drawing for the fishing kayak, and the winner there was Ryan Greenley. He's from Gallipolis. He was not there to get the kayak, but I'm sure that he will pick it up.
I'd say
from
he'll
them.
definitely be around.
So
to
at
pick
the
that
end of
up.
the day, Aaron Irvin, talked with Red Thompson Jr. Red Thompson Jr. was out there covering it for me, as was our own Dylan Euler.
Dylan,
They both
good
did
job.
a really good job tag teaming that for me. We'll have a lot of coverage and photos going in our Wednesday paper, by the way. Also, we've already had a report on the radio, but Aaron Irvin said that, they would try to do a better job getting in front of it. They didn't have a lot of time to pull it together this year. They will promote it heavily next year to try to get the word out because, it was new and in a new place.
Yep.
Was it Colin you didn't have the last name?
Pardon?
Who was the last name you didn't have?
Let's see. Colin Swords. I'm sorry. No, I'm looking at my notes wrong. It was Colin Swords on the far right. He was the other casting contest winner. Okay. So Colin, I'm sorry I called you Colleen. So sorry about that. All right. Some other things to talk about as well. Paving is going on in downtown Jackson, or not in downtown Jackson, but all over the city of Jackson this week. The pavers, McKee Paving, who was doing the city paving project, the summer paving project, they were in the southwest portion of the city last week. They will remain in the southwest portion this week as they spread out a little bit. The list of streets to be paved this week, whenever they can get to them. Of course, all this is depending on.
This rain's not going to help.
Right?
That
No,
situation.
it'll stop it temporarily because they can't pave in the rain. But they started on some streets last week. Any streets they did not get done last week, I'm sure they'll finish. But the next wave of streets to be done could be this week. Probably some of them will be for sure. Star Place, Huron Street from David Avenue to Bennett Avenue, the section of Star Street from South Street to Huron Street, the section of High Street from South Street to Huron Street, the section of Globe Street from David Avenue to Bennett Avenue, and the section of Tropic Street from David Avenue to Bennett Avenue. When they're paving, of course, you'll know it because they'll be in the way. They'll try to keep the roads open as much as possible, but, right when they're paving, obviously you can't drive on that. And, of course, this is the big thing. If you're in that section, you need to look for the no parking signs. If you're not listening to me, there'll be no parking signs, temporary no parking signs posted. You got to get your car off the street, your vehicle off the street, or they can't pave, obviously.
That or somebody will get it off the street for you.
Right.
Which will cost you money.
Right. I'm sure you don't want to get in the way of progress. Another project that's going to take place, paving, not part of the city paving project, but separate as a grant-funded project, and this is ODOT doing this, but the city, of course, is very aware and very happy about it. East Broadway Street is going to be paved starting this week. Now, that is up to ODOT, but they have announced that it will be this week. Randy Evans was told, and he announced at last week's council meeting that it could and should start this week.
Wait, is that by Belicio?
Yes.
Finally?
Yes. It's
Finally!
It's most of East Broadway Street from Water Street all the way out to where you hit 35, Longworth Street and past there. So it's most of East Broadway Street short of town.
Although,
down the hill from town.
Yes, everybody has complained about that street for so long, and then it's going to get paved, and then it's going to be the Indianapolis 500 down through there. You just watch.
Right. Well, they'll have posted speed limit signs. I'm sure it'll be 25 miles per hour.
Down.
Right.
I know it's nice, but
right.
slow down.
They have done what they call depth repairs, where there are subsurface repairs to try to make sure the paving holds up once they do the surface work. But even the top surface work, the resurfacing, should occur maybe this week. But they've actually did some work last year, and they've done curb work as well.
Yes.
That's the city that did that.
Yep.
All right. We also want to let you know that the Jackson County Republican Party, they always have a big event every year called the Lincoln Day Dinner.
Yes.
It is their big fundraiser, their big coming out party to celebrate the Republican Party. They usually have a high-profile speaker. They will do that again. It is on Thursday, June the 29th. It will be at the Christ Church's Family Life Center here in Jackson. And the guest speaker will be our congressman, 2nd District Congressman Brad Winstrip. And there he is right there. This is the first year that Congressman Winstrip has represented Jackson County, or Vinton County for that matter. They redrew the legislative lines, and so instead of being in the 6th District, we're now in the 2nd District. And he's done a pretty good job getting around, being seen, meeting folks for the first time speaking at some major events. And this, of course, will be a big one for the Republican Party. But Congressman Brad Wenstrup will be the speaker. And tickets are available from Republican Party members. You can call Brent Stepp, who is the Central Committee chairman as well. But the tickets cost $40. You should get them in advance to make sure you got a dinner there waiting for you. It will be catered by Rowdy's.
Okay.
So that, once again, is coming up on Thursday evening, June the 29th.
Awesome.
All right. Also, we got some other people coming here. We're going to be providing information in the paper this week over the next 2 papers about all the 4th of July activities.
Can you believe, Pete, that it's like right around the corner?
It is absolutely right around the corner.
I was like doing the math. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Right. All right. We have another weekend, and then the next weekend we've got
the
stuff.
Next weekend. Yes.
Right. The Vinton County Athletic Boosters are doing it in MacArthur. It will be Friday, June 30th through Sunday, July 2nd. Everything in Wellston done by Wellston Main Street will be on that Saturday, July the 1st. Everything in Jackson will be on Monday, July the 3rd. There'll be a parade and fireworks and things at Manpower Park. We'll be telling you about that.
Okay.
Oak Hill will be having a celebration that will go over I think 4 different days, ending on July the 4th, and that is the Oak Hill Athletic Boosters. Everybody will have fireworks. The Wilkesville 4th of July, they always have a big parade downtown in Wilkesville.
Yes.
That will be on July the 4th as well. So we'll have some details, the schedule of all these activities, when things are happening, and it's as early as the 30th, which is on Friday evening in MacArthur, all the way through the 4th, of course.
Okay.
So we'll let you know about that. Also, want to let you know that we're picking and choosing here to get through. The Tri-City Theater will have their free summer movies project. That will continue. The next installment, of course, is tomorrow, 11 a.m. and 2 p.m. They do 2 different showings.
Let's see if Dylan lights up on this one.
Right. The showing is The Bad Guys. That's what's on tomorrow, 11 a.m. and 2 p.m.
Not as exciting as Kung Fu Panda to you, huh?
They do advise you to be at Tri-City 30 minutes ahead of time. They
Yes.
always draw a big crowd.
Very popular.
Now, you can't take in outside food and drinks because, they're already giving you free movies.
Right.
So, the popcorn and the pop and things like that, the things you got to have when you're watching a movie,
That's
they will be
right.
available for sale there at Tri-City. The doors will open 1 hour before each show. Once again,
Very
11
cool.
a.m. and 2 p.m. And these shows will go through Tuesday, July the 25th. So each Tuesday this summer.
Good deal.
Okay. We also want to tell you that the Jackson Farmers Market, a lot of people have been asking about that.
Yeah.
It will be open next Saturday. It will start.
Oh,
It
cool.
will be across the street from Eddie Jones Park there on Harding Avenue. Of course, these will be homegrown products, a lot of course, garden vegetable produce, but also a lot of other things as well. So that's pretty much it. I will cede my chair to both Jeremiah and Phil. As I said, a lot taking place there. Jeremiah is going to talk about the Hazlitt Mansion.
Okay.
And Phil is going to talk about some very important things at Wellston City Council.
Very cool. Thank you, Pete, so much. We appreciate you. Now get back to work.
Hi,
Hi, Jeremiah. How are you?
Good. Did you miss me?
We did. We haven't seen you in quite some time.
Haven't seen me for a week.
I know.
Yeah, it was a nice little vacation, nice little getaway.
Did you do anything fun?
Went to a flea market one day. It was
Okay.
like 30 football fields big.
What?
Yeah, it was pretty cool. It was about an hour from Fort Wayne, Indiana, is where we went. But the whole reason we went to Fort Wayne, the Bradley has their outlet sale out there, and it's the first time since COVID that they've had it.
Aha.
And, Kara, my wife, wanted to go to that, so we kind of circled vacation around that.
Very good.
Yeah. Weather was pretty decent. The first couple days we got there was a little cool,
Yeah.
rainy.
Yeah.
And so that kind of put off some of our plans that we'd had, because we planned to go to a zoo one day, and we was going to go up to Michigan Lake because it's not too far away.
Right.
But we didn't get to do that either because it was cool and rainy, and I'm sure on the lake it probably would have been even cooler.
It would have been worse, yes.
So we didn't get around to that, but that's okay. Maybe that'll be another trip for another time.
That's exactly right.
But it was a nice little break. I didn't have to worry about anything and just kind of unplug and didn't have too many people bother me. Had a few text messages asking about stuff, and I was like, I'm not there. You're going to have to call somebody else. So,
have you seen a live video recently? No.
Right. So before I get into what Pete mentioned, I want to mention a few things in the village of Colton real quick, if I could. The Colton Village Council meeting that was scheduled for tomorrow evening, Tuesday, June 20th, has been canceled due to lack of village business. The meeting will not be rescheduled, and the next meeting will actually be on Wednesday, July 5th at 7 p.m. at the Colton Community Building.
Okay.
Those meetings are open to the public. Typically, they normally meet on the first and third Tuesday of the month, but because of the next meeting would have fallen on July 4th, so they pushed it back a day.
Okay.
So just be aware of that. And then Colton Mayor Kim Milliken has announced, weather permitting, there will be some street paving that will begin tomorrow, Tuesday, June 20th, there in the village of Colton. And it's the areas where village streets and State Route 93 were dug up during the sewer project that will be paved. And she said that there may be a few streets that may be paved completely, but she wanted to get this out to residents are being advised to move their vehicles from the street so that the paving can be done.
Okay.
So I don't know if you've been in the village recently, but 93 is just all tore up down through there from where they've had to, run those lines.
Yes.
But that ongoing sewer project out there, last report I got from Mayor Milliken, should be wrapping up here in the next month or so, they're saying.
Okay, but it will be great when it's done.
Yes, it'll be great. The whole village will be hooked up to sewer instead of each individual home having septic tanks.
Okay.
So they actually got the last part of the funding they needed for that. But they knew it was coming.
Yeah.
But it was announced, I guess, this past week. So we'll be doing a little story update on that as well. So Pete mentioned me going out to the Haslett Mansion and Carriage House.
One of the coolest, I think, properties in our area by far.
It is so neat. I've driven out past there. I don't know how many times over the years, going to the fair. And you always see it out there.
Yeah, and you always think, man, that could be just a gorgeous place.
Yeah, and so I had the opportunity to go because they did a special commendation out there for the restoration work that family has been doing.
Yes, the Morgan family.
The Morgan family, and it's a beautiful property, Jen. Have you ever been out to it?
No,
like inside?
No, I have not had that privilege yet.
It is a gorgeous house, and the carriage house, just the whole thing and the history behind it. It is just so neat. I was really taken back.
Yeah, for sure.
And the daughter, Melissa Boggs, which she was Melissa Morgan, is the daughter. She took me on a tour through the mansion, along with the dairy tunnel that's underground that takes you to the carriage house.
So cool.
And I took a lot of video of that, and hopefully sometime in the future I'll be able to put together a nice little kind of like historic tour video of the mansion. That'll be really cool when I get that done. I also plan to do another story kind of talking about the restoration that the family has done out there, as well as a story about the family that had owned and built that property originally. Yes. So a little bit more about that Haslett Mansion. I know we're talking about it. It's located there on Driving Park Road there out by the fairgrounds. And over the past few years, Don and Susan Morgan and their daughter, Melissa Morgan Boggs, have taken extensive initiatives to transform that property. And it's situated at 153 Driving Park Road there in Wellston. And the property is known as the Haslett Mansion and Carriage House. And it was built by Charles Haslett and his wife, Mary Ann Haslett. and the home was started in 1908, and it was finished in 1909, and it cost $8,000.
Ooh.
Now today, Melissa told me that would be approximately $3 million.
So you can buy $8,000 toilet nowadays.
Yeah, to build that out there. And that included the home as well as the underground dairy tunnel and the carriage house. The house is situated on an 800-acre plot of farmland that was known as the Driving Park Farm, that later became the largest Jersey dairy farm in the state of Ohio. So the reason I was out there, this was a couple Saturdays ago, on Saturday, June 3rd, State Representative Bill Romer. Now, that state representative may not sound familiar. That's because he represents the 31st House District, which includes northern and western portions of Summit County.
Okay.
And the reason he came
down... What the heck's he doing in our area?
Well, so a little quick story about that. His wife, their family is the Haslett family.
Oh, cool.
So
he has like a tie to it.
Has a tie to it. And she was there with him when they did this special presentation to the Morgan family. They presented him a special framed commendation congratulating them on their efforts to restore the mansion and the carriage house. And I have it right here, the connection. Let me see. So it was not only signed by that state representative, but also Ohio House Speaker Jason Stevens, who is our representative here in Jackson County, had also signed that. He couldn't be present, so he had presented it. But the connection there was that the wife, let me see, I have it in here. Here it is. He is married to Josie Raymer, and Josie is Charles and Mary Haslett's great-granddaughter.
Okay.
So there's kind of a little side story on that. She had told me that she recalled visiting the home as a child. Her grandmother Toya was one of the 4 daughters of Charles and Mary.
Okay.
So
wow.
Anyway, a lot of history there, and I'll be excited to write a follow-up piece on this. But as Pete said, the complete story about this special commendation is on the front page of Saturday's edition.
Did you see any ghosts?
I did not, but they said that there are a lot of ghost stories out there.
So we decided, James and Courtney and I decided we should do a sleepover there some night and see what we can see.
Melissa said see
if we survive it.
Yeah, Melissa said she stayed there. I don't remember if it was like this past Christmas or around Christmas time, I guess, for a few nights. She said it was a little,
I'm sure there's all kind of strange noises and things, and in a house of that, age, it's going to be.
And it doesn't help that Mr. Haslett committed suicide there.
Yes,
he jumped off a balcony. Yeah, and fell. So the mansion is 4 stories high, and he jumped from the 3rd story balcony.
Yeah,
and fell down a shaft into the basement, and then later passed away, I guess, at the hospital. But anyhow, lots of ghost stories out there.
Interesting.
So I'll hop out of the way here so
okay.
Phil can
thanks,
talk
Jeremiah.
about Wellston.
It's good to see you. Yep. Welcome back. We're so happy to have you.
Gotta go dig out now.
Right. So what happens when you go on vacation? You need a vacation from your vacation. Hi, Phil.
Hello.
Welcome back. Good to see you, buddy.
Thank you.
How are the twins?
Good.
Okay. How's Parker?
Good.
Okay.
Good.
Got to ask about him too.
Yeah.
Is he being a good big brother?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Pretty good at it.
Okay. So what's going on?
Well, I came in to talk about what happened at the council meeting last week with Wellston.
I just have to say, typically when you come in, there's always something juicy.
This isn't that bad, I guess.
Okay.
I mean, it's actually pretty good news if it pans out.
Good.
So, City Council has been discussing lately trying to find a way to fund the creation and continued operation of a new city pool.
Okay.
They submitted. That was one of the many projects they submitted to the Appalachian Community Grant Program, and they were awarded some engineering planning related funding for that.
Yes.
Funds up to about 30% of the engineering costs. So utilizing that as a little bit of a springboard, they had a discussion last Thursday night about possibly putting a levy on the ballots this coming general election. The discussion started out at about a 1 mil levy, but Mayor Brenner pointed out that only generates about $70,000 to $80,000 a year, which would probably be what it would cost just to operate the pool a year.
Yes.
So the discussion shifted more toward a permanent 5 mil levy that would give them enough money to help get the pool built, help keep it staffed, keep it in operation, throughout its entire life. And then possibly have a little extra money to go toward the recreation department that they're slowly rebuilding. Mm-hmm. They would eventually have a recreation director who would be over the pool and over the parks. And all of this is intertwined with Make Wellston Beautiful, who has kind of filled that void over the years when they didn't have a recreation department. Yeah. So I don't think they'll go by the wayside necessarily. I think they'll just kind of shift who's more in charge of what.
Take something off some of the volunteers that are doing all that.
Right. Sure. Like the mowing, for instance. I mean, just to mow those recreation ball fields alone would take quite a bit of people.
Yeah.
And currently, Make Wellston Beautiful has been doing that with volunteers, like you said.
Yep.
So, though nothing is completely set in stone yet, they have tentatively agreed to move forward with a 5 mil levy that would go on the ballots this November. I think the deadline to try and get that accomplished is August 9th. So they first have to adopt a resolution having the county auditor certify the amount that levy would generate to see if it would be sufficient enough to do what they need to do with it.
Okay.
And then pass another resolution to actually put it on the ballots. So they had a meeting before the council meeting to discuss this. It seems like that's the plan for now, though. Like I said, nothing has been set in stone. That's just everyone's consensus to move forward with that.
Okay.
Another discussion they had in both meetings Thursday night was this is in addition to Oak Hill's sesquicentennial or whatever it is, 150th anniversary.
You did pretty good with that. I'll give you that.
Let's see. I have it written down here. Sesquicentennial.
There you go.
So
good job.
This is Wellston's as well. So the 1873, Wellston was created and established as a city. This is the 150th anniversary. They had a first reading of an ordinance to appropriate an additional $30,000 toward the celebration, which is going to be tied in with this year's Ohilco Festival in early September.
Okay.
So it's going to beef up what the festival already is. I think that they've discussed having a fireworks show. It won't be as big as the 4th of July's, but
fireworks nonetheless.
Fireworks nonetheless, yes. They didn't really go into a whole lot of detail during the council meeting, but the mayor said, $30,000 doesn't have to be used entirely for this, but they want to make a big splash like Oak Hill has done.
Yeah.
So this year's Ohilco Festival will also include the 150th anniversary of the city. So that will be coming up. The other thing that came up from the meeting that I wanted to bring up too, I know I had talked about it in the past. There had been some discussion about creating a municipal parking lot downtown in the old corner lot at Ohio Avenue and Broadway.
Yes.
That a corner of that lot just so happens to be a memorial park for the Wellston Lions Club. And it was kind of assumed that, they would be okay with moving their park elsewhere outside of that lot. Turns out they're not. Pat Hendershot and another representative came to the meeting to say that they would be willing to work with the city if it came down to it, that they would like to keep their park the way it is.
Okay.
They were told that they could use that lot as long as the city, didn't sell it. And as they're not trying to sell it and wanting to just make a parking lot, and unfortunately would go directly through where their little corner section of this lot is.
Is there a way to for both to be used, or?
I think so. They talked about it for about 20 minutes during the meeting at the beginning, and everybody seems to understand. There's no animosity. It was basically the club reaching out to the city and saying, is there any other way we could do this without us having to uproot and move to a place where they feel like has already been developed, and would kind of get in the way of the Ohilco Festival in one spot. So there wasn't really any decision reached, but one of the options floated was because this little memorial park only encompasses about, a corner of this entire lot. So the idea was floated to just move that up because they want to make a parking lot and have an access from the alley behind all the way to Ohio Avenue that would connect Broadway and Ohio Avenue.
Okay.
And it would come right through there next to ERA Martin. And it would offer, the main reason why they wanted to do this is all the people that live in those apartments along Ohio Avenue and 2nd Street, even, to get those tenants off the street so that the businesses
they're taking up the street parking.
Right.
Which you understand. They need a place to park.
Definitely. So. And they're supposed to have 2 parking spaces provided by the landlord per unit. And they have to be within 200 feet of the building.
Okay.
So that's impossible to do without having some sort of a parking lot established there. So, I mean, yeah, you could park on Railroad Avenue. You could park over at the old pants factory. You could park any number of places, but it's going to require you to probably walk a little ways.
Okay.
So, like I said, there's not really any bad blood there, but this is something that they will continue to try to work toward a solution for.
Well, it's good that people are communicating, though. Like, these are our concerns. These, this is what we're trying to do. Like, can we all work together?
And at the end of it, Mr. Hendershot did say, if it came right down to it, we would obviously cooperate with the city.
Sure.
So we'll see where that goes. And I did have the source of the rattlesnake story but we can talk about that another time. I had the story for that too, but that that can be discussed.
He was a victim.
I was, that was pretty shocking. I mean, I've never seen a rattlesnake, but
dude, I'm just gonna. Is that it right there?
Yeah, that's it.
Thanks, Dylan. I'm just gonna tell you, if I saw that thing, you would never see me again. Alive.
It surprised me. It definitely surprised. If I would have left any number of seconds sooner or later, I would have probably stepped on it because I wasn't paying attention.
Oh, heck.
But
no.
It just so happens it was right in my line of sight when I walked through. So,
well, I'm glad you had the wherewithal to not step on it and also to take a picture of it.
Well, yeah, I mean, the journalist in me is just too ingrained. Yeah. So my first move was to take a picture of it. Yeah. Risk my life for this.
Well, yeah, right. As it's rattling at you.
Yeah, it was too. Yeah, he didn't appreciate it, but it didn't act aggressive. It just tried to get away from me. So I think
it was just telling you to stay away.
Yeah, and I did
with good reason.
I paid heed to that.
As I said, I would have just been a grease spot in the middle of the road at that point. I would have just.
I didn't realize how fast they were either. They're fast.
Really?
Yeah. Faster than I would like them to be.
No, thank you. It's great if they're fast going away from you.
Well, that's the direction in which he was going. So I'll take that. Yeah.
He's like, speaking of compromise, let's just all compromise and go our separate ways.
You go that way, I'll go this way.
Yes, exactly. All right. Well, Phil, thank you so much for filling us in on what problem. You know, and we greatly appreciate it. And come back when you have something juicy to tell us, because you always
no
do.
Time flat, I promise.
All right. Well, have a wonderful day, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you, Dylan, for pushing all the right buttons this morning. And we'll be back here tomorrow on Tuesday. Have a great day. Bye-bye.